Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another Gamer's Thoughts video. And this time, I'm going to be giving a response to my buddy Mizzah Tee, because he put out a video not very long ago asking if dedicated handhelds have a future in the industry. My general answer, my first thought and answer would be, yeah, they do. Even though the Switch is the dream hybrid of a home platform and a handheld platform, there is a use for a dedicated handheld in the gaming market. And I think T kind of highlighted it in his video, which it would more or less pertain to children, or maybe even people who just don't actually care at all about a home console experience. There are those out there who just generally like the way handheld games are made and how they work and how they play. There is a market for those types of people. And one could argue, well, they can just make those games for the Switch, or they can just put them out on mobile. With the Switch, the higher price point would be a little bit of a barrier. The $300 price point would be a little bit of a barrier to people, and a dedicated handheld could actually be cheaper than that. They could drop a dedicated handheld at $200 and below, whereas the Switch is at $300 currently. Not saying the price drop won't happen at all, but we don't know when a price drop will happen. Secondly, for argument for the smartphone, not everyone likes to play their games with a touchscreen or having to buy a separate controller to be able to play their games. So if they can get it all in one package, yeah, they'd be happy to do that. And while there are some smartphones out there on the market that do have built-in gamepads, and these are more like Chinese market items, there aren't as many people who would go ahead and purchase those as there are who would just drop a couple $100s on a dedicated handheld with optimized experiences, and most of which aren't port overs from different platforms. So it's a thing that people have to think about. Personally, I could see a dedicated handheld working very well, especially in Nintendo's case, as long as they decide to do something along with interactivity and connectivity between that handheld and the Switch. So, like being able to use that handheld as a controller, depending on what game you're playing, or maybe being able to use the handheld and give a different play experience, like sort of what the Wii U does with the gamepad and normal controllers, or Wii Remote Nunchuck and the gamepad. Like it just depends on what they wanted to do with it. It's possible, and it could open up other opportunities. It just, again, depends on what they want to do with it. I mean, heck, if Nintendo can go out and and set up cardboard to sell you in that, and it's selling out very well already on pre-orders, I'm pretty sure if they decided that they wanted to do a high definition DS and put it out, or something with a higher definition screen like a 540p top screen and like a 480p bottom screen, they could do it. Like I am completely confident that they could do it, and they can put it out for like under $250. And people would be like, huh, okay, cool. We can get this and get these games. Like there are, like, again, that's another thing. Like there are people who like the lower price point, who would like the lower price point for games. So I think, yeah, it's possible to do it. And Nintendo has proven time and time again they can put out a decent handheld with a home platform. I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they have to, but it's something that they can do. And heck, if Sony would get their hands out there behind and actually attempt to do it the right way, they could put out a decent handheld. Microsoft could too, but I think Microsoft is banking on utilizing Windows 10 and Xbox One together instead of worrying about a handheld. But plus, they figure, hey, there are laptops that's portable enough. We got the Surface tablet. We don't have to do a whole lot. So, yeah, that's why they're probably not even worried about handheld. But it just depends on what they would want to do. And there are things that they could set up a handheld to do that a smartphone wouldn't necessarily be able to do out the box. Again, having dedicated buttons, having a dedicated controller, dual screen gameplay. While there are there are talks of utilizing dual screen tablets and dual screen phones. They are not a commonplace thing yet, and dual screen gaming can still be utilized on handheld very well if Nintendo wanted to continue that route. It seems like more people are apt to it in a handheld format because the screens are closer than they were with a home platform. So yeah, there's the opportunity out there for it. There's an argument for it. It just depends on how it's presented and what comes with it. Because we look at the 3DS, for example. Yeah, it might have started off struggling, but once they put out enough really good gaming experiences on it, and yeah, they lowered the price a little bit, people went hardcore for that thing. Like, and they still are to an extent because it's still selling out pretty well. I mean, yeah, maybe not as well as the Switch is right now, but it's still selling pretty well for a 7-year-old device. So, like, and then there's the different form factors for the 3DS model, where you have the original 3DS, you have the 2DS, and you have the 3DS XL, the 2DS XL, you have the new 3DS, like, and so on and so forth. Like, there are different form factors and sizes and things that are different options. So that's not something that they can necessarily do with the Switch. They can't really just offer a different size tablet and think that it's just going to be cool with people. If they offer a smaller one, it might hinder the experience a little bit, and if they offer a bigger one, it might shoot the price up to a point where people might not want to purchase it. With handheld, they have that option where they can throw out different sizes, kind of like the cell phone market, where they can give people different pricing options that fit what they want in their budget and that fit what they are ready to pay for. So, but that's it. That's my thoughts on it. Anybody else want to throw in what they got to say at the bottom, please do. I'll link T's video in the description below. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out.